the House of Unconsciousness. Are you familiar with them? That's good. Then don't look it up. But either way, there's some people of our people that come against our beliefs, and they use Egyptology, Kemet, and all that. But now he's using the Bible and trying to teach what he doesn't know, even though he's an Israelite. Now, because he's trying to teach it, he's going to have to answer for it as if he was a man teaching it.
That's right.
See, the Bible is, honestly, it could be a blessing or a curse. You see? And it says 34, 2nd Ezra 3 and 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
Right. Nowhere but in Israel. Okay, because what's that? What says wisdom rests upon Israel?
Yes, yep,
about it. And this proves that that word, the children of Yahweh Shema Shai. Because going back to Hosea 1 and 10, it says that in the land were
in their captivity.
They should, right, exactly.
Right. And in Deuteronomy 28, it describes them to a T.
Yeah, that's right.
All other nations are right. All other nations, yes.
Right.
So they're gonna have to beat them.
And they will,
This is Sirach 24 and 8. So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me.
The creator is who? Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, the Father of Spirits, okay?
And he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel.
It was Jacob, Israel, because if you go in the book of Genesis, go back to the history, all right, Jacob got his name changed into Israel, after resting the angel. Okay, and then Yahweh Shema Shai's wisdom it goes with us. Okay, because you have to remember back in the law of Moses. All right, the Lord only gave statutes and commandments unto us, nobody else. All right, the Lord killed the Egyptians, not us. All right, we're chosen, man. All right, but people soon gonna realize that in their future. That's why it says in Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter, we're gonna get our fame back in every land we can put to shame. Okay.
And it's a good thing to change Jacob's name, because Jacob means listener.
Supplanter.
It means supplanter.
2nd Ezra 3 and 35. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Right, because remember in the days of Noah, they were so wicked that he had to put a timestamp on man's age.
That's right.
That's how wicked they were. And now we're in the days of Noah 2.0.
That's right.
You see? And it says, or what people have so kept thy commandments, thou shalt find that Israel by name has kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Thou shalt find that Israel has kept that name and thy precepts, but not the heathen. All right, not the Assyrians, or not the Hamites, especially not the Edomites. Okay, but then again, they have the law, statutes, commandments because they know. All right, they know who we are and we know who they are, man. Just like the brother said, that's why these people that claim to be Israelites and claiming to know Yahweh Shema Shai, they're gonna get judged, man. These false pastors, these false teachers out here, they're gonna get judged, man. All right.
That's why 2/3 of Israel is not going to.
And that's true. All right, it says that in Zechariah 13. Yep.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall scatter thee among all people.
Shall scatter thee among all people. Real quick, Bible Shaw. Go to the first verse, Bible Shaw. Deuteronomy 28. Yep.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth.
So if back in ancient times, if we were to take heed to Yahweh Shema Shai, we'll be exalted. All right, we'll be greatly exalted by Yahweh Shema Shai. Keep going, Bible Shaw.
He wanted us all to be priests, but we fell short. He really wanted us all to follow the Levitical.
He wanted the men to be priests. The men. Yeah, a woman can't be a priest.
Right.
Only the men. Because you got to remember, through one man we became the children of Israel, and that was Jacob. You see, and then that's how you sisters came about. You see, through the lineage of Jacob is how we got our fellow sisters to have wives. But we, the men, is the stock, the pedigree. So we all are supposed. Now we're priests now, but we're priests. When we get in the kingdom, we're not going to be Levitical priests. We're going to be priests under Melchizedek. You see, because remember the covenant through Abraham, and he was the father of many nations. That's us. So the men will be priests and kings, and then the women will be princesses. You see, and it also goes into prophetess, but that only means like singers, like Miriam.
Yep.
When we defeated Amalek, Miriam came out with the women and started singing and dancing. That's what she was referred to as a prophetess.
Right.
You see, that's all it means, a singer. Like if any of you sisters sing at home, you know, that's all it means.
Like you have so-called gospel singers.
Yeah, gospel singers. That's why a lot of our women and men are into Christian soulful music, you know. So only imagine when we get in the kingdom how the singing's gonna be, you know. Yep, to the true name. Where's your son?
He's coming.
Oh, okay.
They're on their way.
Okay.
I was trying to push him and push him.
Hey, but remember, you gotta let the spirit.
Absolutely.
You gotta let him grow to be that, you know, because you each have your own zeal. You know what I mean? So remember that. Yeah, there you go. And just keep praying. Just keep praying. Do you have a husband as well? Okay. Hey, well, you're in the right spirit. You stay right here. You're good. You're good. You know, just sure.
I was just reading, and I just want clarity on when Adam died. They tell his death that Adam lived 900 some odd years, and then he died. And then we go through Seth and the rest of them. But when it gets to Enoch, he said, Enoch walked with God and he was no more. He took him. They didn't say died. So did he die? Or
No.
did the Most High take him?
He got translated.
He got translated, meaning that you know, because today you have something called a so-called UFO, but in the scriptures is what? Chariot.
You're familiar with that?
Yeah.
Good.
And meaning that it's like meaning
Hold
that,
on, sis. Hold on. It's good.
Yeah.
We know you excited.
Yeah.
Hold on, though. It's good.
And meaning that he walked with God, meaning that he was a prophet. Okay, just like today, you know, you have prophets of Yahweh Shema Shai, meaning that he dealt with Enoch, you know, and likewise.
Just to back you up, he was found perfect in this generation, just like Noah. So the Lord said, you know what? I'm going to take you with me out of this generation.
Yep.
Because they were being wicked, and he got beamed up.
And that was mercy.
Just
you know?
like what happened to Elijah.
That's right, you know.
Can I read this real quick? Because after Enoch got took, and then Noah was born, that was the time where Cain was ruling, and the earth was wicked. So the Lord can also take a man of the Lord, or even a woman of the Lord, you know, to preserve them before evil time.
Yep.
This is Isaiah 57:1. The righteous perisheth.
The righteous perisheth, basically, the word perishment means suffering or suffering.
The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart.
And no man laid it to heart.
And
Right.
mercy.
Just to back you up, like what happened with the Lord on the cross. They said, well, if he's the son of God, save yourself.
Right.
So
Yep.
I thought he was a man of God, but he died. You know, they'll be talking shit.
But he wasn't on the cross. He was hung on the tree.
No, it was a cross.
It was a cross.
They slew on the tree.
That was because it was wood. That's all, because it was wood. Because remember, in 70 AD, which took place like what, 30 years later, they had so many Israelites on the crucifixion that there was no trees to be found in the land.
Yeah, he wasn't hung like you would hang a slave.
No.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
He had to
be-
Thomas, he put his hand
In the
inside,
side.
and filled, so he got crucified.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't get hung. He got pierced, and then he got stabbed. His feet got pierced, and he had to be on that for over 3 hours.
But the scripture does say tree.
Because it's
Well,
referring
it's
to the wood.
It's wood.
And also it's translated.
Yeah.
Really, if you go back to the Greek and Hebrew, it was crucifixion.
Yeah.
But it's a tree because of the English translation.
Yeah. Isaiah 57:1, and merciful men are taken away, just like Yahweh Shai. He didn't get taken out in 70 AD. He got taken out like 30 years before that
Right.
to be our sacrificial lamb, you know?
Right.
And also, real quick, in secular history, crucifixion is a real thing. I believe the Elamites invented it, but the Romans perfected it. So the crucifixion is a real thing. So don't just get caught up when it says hanged on or slew on a tree. The trees is referring to what they used to create the crucifixion.
It's just wood. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
Right.
'Cause
Wood.
like even Peter got put on the cross.
Yep.
You see, so many of our people got put on. Well, even babies got put on the cross during the time of the Greeks, before the Romans. They put our babies on the cross. You see, so when you go into history, you'll see it back to that.
Who was crucified
crucified upside down?
Peter.
Peter.
This says Isaiah 57. Merciful men are taken away.
Merciful men are taken away, okay, because Yahweh Shema Shai is preserving them, all right, because the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has mercy on their spirit, you know.
None considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
What did Nate say when happened to that guy?
In Trinidad. Yeah, he was laughing.
Yep.
But you had, when John got beheaded, you had Jews that were pleased with that then. See? You had Israelite brothers that were teaching that got killed in Trinidad, and a leader of a Hebrew Israelite organization went down there, wanted to go to this spot, he got killed, and was laughing when they found it.
That's right.
You got to watch the wicked men of our people. Just because you black don't mean you are our family.
That's right.
Some Edomites can look like Western states.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And those are called TARES. How Shai spoke about that. You know, the wheat and the tare. No, prime example. During chattel slavery, you had Edomite slave masters who slept with, you know, Israelite women. You know, and then those children, they may come out looking so-called black, but then in the spirit they're Edomites.
Yeah, just to back you up, I believe from the movie Roots, Chicken George was a tear, right, brother? She got raped by the slave master.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I think so. Yeah, because it was Kunta's daughter that kept the lineage up.
Yep.
The slave master had his way with Kinsey.
Yep.
And she had a son, and he was, I believe he was cockfighting or something like that.
Yep.
So if you see a white man, if you see somebody that looks white, maybe with Eve, that doesn't mean that he's white.
No, it won't necessarily mean that.
You tell by his spirit.
You
Yeah.
can't react to that. We're looking at interracial couple.
Or not every Eve might not be. Not every Eve might be an Eve either.
Right.
She might be a white person herself, and he might be a Jake. No, you good, brother. You good, brother. You're good.
And that's why, you know, like when this thing, you know, when it comes down to the boiling point, you gonna know like who's Israel. You know, that's why how Shai say is gonna come back and separate the wheat and the tare. Right, the wheat mean the Israelites, and the tares mean the fucking, excuse my language, the Edomites who may appear to be Israelites.
I got it. You want it?
Yeah.
This is Matthew 13 and 24.
And this right here is a parable.
And another parable put he forth unto them.
Hold up. Hey, brother.
All right, thanks, bro. Thank you.
Shalom.
Have a good one. Saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in the field, in his field, but while men slept.
Like that man is Yahweh Shai, the field is the earth.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. And it reads, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares.
But while men slept, going back to chattel slavery, his enemy, and who's our enemy? Mainly the head of the council, Esau. While men slept, while the Israelite men slept, all right, because they would come in, you know, being drunk. They would take our wives. You can watch that in the Roots. You know, you can watch that 12-year-old slave. What's that? Nate Jackson, Birth of a Nation. You know, it shows us. You know,
And also
Right.
just to back you up, them slept meaning we got put into captivity.
Right.
And we lost our heritage. We didn't know where we were. They beat it out of us.
Well, there's Revelations 11, the 3.5 days.
Yep.
That was talking about we were asleep in slavery. And and that's why also too, whether or not the white man that Eve's with is a Jake, she still ain't she ain't right for being with him though either. For what has happened to us. Now it's gonna happen, but at the same time you gotta look too with our women, because he raped our men too. But even with our women, you know, you look at our women, they'll sell out to be with a white man on purpose.
To so-called escape the curses.
Yeah, to escape the curses, you know?
Yep.
Our women don't care about us. You see,
the curse is doing that. You walking right into the curse doing that.
when you look at a whole of our people, they're really jacked up.
Yeah.
They choose the oppressor rather than the one who's being oppressed with them.
Right.
All
You know?
praises, all praises.
You know, it's a great example of that. Candace Owens. About her.
Yeah, she might be a tear. She might be a tear. And it says, because remember, Eve was beguiled by the serpent. You know, he got so close to where they was having conversations. So she had it in her spirit to, you know, to be talking with another man, well, she shouldn't have been doing that, you know? This is Matthew 13 and 26. I'll read 25 again. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat.
And so tares amongst the wheat, meaning he slept with our wives, all right, our Israelite wives, all right, and then, you know, him entering into our women, you know, come forth little Edomites. that may look like Israelites, you know.
And it reads, tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared tares also.
And appeared tares also. Okay, and the tares, as you already know, chocolate-covered Edomites. Okay.
So the servant of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst now thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then has it tares? He said unto them, An enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
Yep. Keep going.
But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Break this out. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Right, thou shalt betroth the wife, meaning that she already taken, and a different man is going what?
It said, Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Another man shall lie with her. That's adultery, you know. And being that Esau, he has the power, you know, like he has, you know, the Bible in his hands. He's not doing nothing, you know, with the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai. So he's guilty of all charges, you know.
Yeah, he's not hold on, sis. He's not establishing order with the Bible. He's not pulling Jake over because they're being wicked. He's pulling them over for his laws, not the laws of the Bible. But then when you go to the court that he arrests you and tells you go to, in a big banner it says, In God we trust.
Right.
Or if you want to go to trial, you got to swear on this, but you're not enforcing these laws. You got all these laws right here, but then you got a law library.
Right.
You see? So he's not enforcing the laws of Yahweh Shema Shai. He's enforcing his unrighteous decrees for his ill-gotten gain.
That's right.
You see, because they know as long as we're not living by the laws of the Lord, that they're going to keep us in captivity. You know, that's why they've turned darkness into light. That's why they make police look like the good guys. Remember when you were growing up, they had movies like SWAT, Lethal Weapon, you know, all these movies you fell in love with cops because they wanted you to fall in love with that law enforcement, but not this law enforcement.
Right.
You see, we're the real law enforcers. But now it's not going to be like, sis, where's your fringes? Because we're in grace. We're in grace. So now we all have mercy. You see, so we're just rehearsing what we're trying to live by. Like Esau, he pulls you over and you're like, sorry, I didn't mean to go 65 and a 55. I'm just practicing.
Right.
He'll still give you a ticket.
Right.
You could be
I'm a student driver.
I'm a student driver, and he still will lock you
He
up.
might beat you, you know, just off,
Yeah.
kill you, just
Might
off
kill
that,
you, yeah.
you know.
Yeah. What's up, sis?
Just like the Cowboys and Indians. All my life, I thought the Indians was the evil ones.
Yep.
When I found out it was the white guys
Yeah.
just decimating
Yeah.
millions of indigenous people,
Yeah.
our people, the
Yeah.
Israelites.
Yeah, that's right. And a fun fact, he single-handedly almost extinct the buffalo. Right now in the national park, he's asking for 12 volunteers to go and hunt and kill over 300 buffalo because he says they're overpopulating the state park because he wants to keep it at 200. We got the whole entire earth. He's a demon. He's a destroyer. You
right.
see, that's what he's set up to do, to destroy. And the first thing he destroyed was our sanctuary, our temple, our sacrifice. That's why now it's spiritual. This is the temple. This is the altar. You see, so the Lord took away the physical aspect of it because Esau's a carnal man. So he's going to be trying to, if we tell him here's the altar, he'll try to dig this up.
It's carnal.
But the altar is wherever we are.
Yep.
You see?
You got to back you up. It says the thief coming not but for to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yep. Yep. And to make a point, when we read this and it says, but he said, nay, Matthew 13:29, but he said, nay, lest while we gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them, meaning because our people under so much of a spiritual and physical captivity that we've lost our way, we have lack of knowledge. So if we were to go out and try to find a tare, you might take out an actual Israelite because he's taking on the customs of the heathen. So that's why it's a spiritual thing. We're waiting and the Lord will separate. Because real quick, this is Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? So our people sometimes will act better as an Edomite better than an Edomite because they're under so much oppression, rape, murder, robbery. They don't. That's why our people will fight against us.
And a prime example are the so-called Puerto Ricans, the Ephraimites.
Yeah.
They are very proud. because they have, fair skin and blonde hair and blue eyes. They see you and think they better than you. But but guess what? You in the same curses that I'm going through. But guess what? That's why those jakes that are proud and stuck in their ways, the Lord's gonna destroy them.
Well, even like a so-called black Southerner, they believe in the Confederate flag. They believe it's culture. They believe that Tim Cott said America's not racist because they're homeborn slaves. They got a little piece of the crumb from the pie, and now they're like, that's good.
Get the stroke of the heart.
Like Eddie Murphy said in what was that? Raw. He was like, that good. If you wait 3 months for it, you're gonna want that cracker. You know. So it's the same thing. When you get a little piece, when you get a little piece of the pie, you start acting so-called bougie.
Right.
And you're better. That's another curse that our people are under, is a curse of division. You see? So that's why the parable's being told, hey, we don't have to worry about like who's an Edomite, who's a Jake. Because the Lord at the end of the day is going to separate that.
Right, exactly.
He's going to separate. That's not our job. What's up?
So then you shouldn't, if you see like an interracial couple, you shouldn't say, but you don't know if that white man or that white lady is Edom.
Well, we don't.
We don't.
And that's why the Corinthians says judge righteous judgment.
Yeah.
Meaning that you want to deal with that person first to see if a spirit bears witness with the Holy Spirit.
Well, not even on a higher spiritual level, we don't even do that amongst our people.
Right.
Because really, the man and the woman is supposed to serve the Most High. But say the man is, but even Paul said, if she be pleased to dwell with, then you're good to be with her. So you don't have to both be a believing couple.
Right.
At the end of the day, you may have a woman that's a non-believer, or there's some woman that might have a man that's a non-believer, but through her he could be delivered, or through him she could be delivered.
Right.
You see? So it's a spiritual journey we're all on. Right. That proves His grace right now, and that's why the order we ask, hey, are you married? Because by law, we're supposed to teach your husband, and he teaches you. You see? That's order. Because you got camps out here that try to just gather women. They want women under them, and then they tell them to leave their husbands. That's off.
That's going off.
That's off. You can't do that. You got to remember, back in the time of, was it Samuel? You had wicked men that were sleeping with the women as they were coming to the temple to bring a sacrifice. You can't do that. This thing is a righteous judgment. We're not here to lead our people astray. You see, we're here to gather the Lord's elect. We're here, we're fishing. That's all we're here to do is fish, And
then also within, like chocolate TARES being, chocolate covered Edomites, the flip side to that coin, you can have Israelites that may look like Edomites.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those Confederate rednecks, those are Israelites. Why do you think they hate? Why do you think they hate so-called blacks so much? That's the evil lie according to the curses. And then a lot of them, they're in that Bible Belt, North Carolina, and down South Alabama, and so on and so forth. They have a heavy zeal.
Yeah, those are Jakes.
Those are Israelites.
Because Esau can't believe in the Most High like we do. They can't. They're not created. They're not designed to. But just to finish this off, Matthew 13 and 28. It says, He said unto them, An enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while we gather up the tares, we root up also the wheat with them.
Right, so it's not our job to, point out who's who. That's all to Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why it says in St. John 15, all right, it says, I chose you, I called you. We don't go around passing out brochures and things, pamphlets going this corner and that corner. No, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to bring the elect to us. Or the believers,
Yeah, we're not here for black people. We're here for the Lord's elect.
That's right.
And it says, let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
Right, into my barn. And guess what? That's going about the destruction of Esau, the tares. Right, the Israelites that may look like Edomites, all right, it's like the not Israelites, but the Edomites that may look like Israelites, and then the Edomites that are Edomites, they're gonna be destroyed. Okay, America's gonna get overthrown and come to a complete halt by throwing nuclear missiles. All right, in the scriptures, the missiles are referred to as arrows. A little
more. Matthew 13 and 36. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable.
Right now, Yahushua, his men, his disciples are basically asking him the breakdown of his parable. Because every time, Yahushua would speak a parable, his men would ask him, then he would break it down to them plainly.
Matthew 13 and 36, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
The good seed is the Son of Man. All right, Yahushua.
The field is the world.
The field is the world. Okay.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one.
Tares is the children of the wicked one. Because you have three sets of men. There's the sons of man who are the heathen, the sons of the Most High who are the Israelites, and the sons of the wicked who are Edomites. Okay?
39, the enemy that sowed them is the devil.
Enemy that sold them while we slept, okay, not knowing who we were during chattel slavery, all right, slept with our women, our commonly women, all right, sowed their bad seed and came forth tares,
Well, they show you that in the movie Mandingo, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
You had, they would call our women bed warmers. And then he was sleeping with one Israelite woman, and she told him how she was pregnant. And he said, I knew this would come. And she was begging him to keep the baby, but he told her that once it was born, to put it in the field. So he knew that baby was his in her stomach, but he still sent that baby into the field to work.
That's right.
Because that's the parable. That's the parable. So yes, you had Edomites in chattel slavery with Jacob, And it says, the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels, as therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire.
The tares are gathered and burned in the fire, because this place will be, according to biblical prophecy, it will be burned up. That's the lake of fire that's spoken on in the book of Revelation.
So shall it be in the end of the world.
And that's the end of the world, man. And who's more Esau's world? Okay, because if we go to real quick, Matthew 24 and 3, well, I know you got some slide here. Because if you go to Matthew 24 and verse 3, the disciples ask Yahushua, what's going to be the end of the world? Okay.
Matthew 24 and 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
In the world, in that word world in Matthew 24 and 3, it says a period of time or age or eon, meaning a rulership, all right, or a era, all right. So they were asking, when's going to be the end of Esau's world, all right, and we're seeing it right now. Okay, because right now you have the dollars collapsing. All right, everything is done. There's no more light shining. Here in Babylon, and that's in Rev 18. Everything here is being slowly but surely drained out. Just like a washcloth.
Yeah. So there's everything. The mirth is gone. The Lord has taken the mirth. So there's less of a battle for you to serve the Lord. The Christmas spirit is gone. The Thanksgiving, the Halloween, the birthday. All of that is gone. So, there should be flocks of Jakes coming in. But, there will be more. There'll be more. There's a lot. We're young men, but even when I first came in, it wasn't as it is now. Because we're at the end of this thing. But with everything going on, you can see the Lord is literally stripping away America's power. And America's power is folly and BS. It's in lies, it's propaganda, bread, and circus. Even people get caught up with football, college basketball, March Madness. That's out now.
Yeah.
That's out. So now it's like, the Lord is stripping these things away to gather you in that much tighter, because the end is coming. So that proves the Lord is merciful, because it says he would want all to repent. But we know prophecy all isn't. So this is why, you sisters, you count it as a blessing. This isn't no light thing. This isn't no Christmas church. This isn't no, Christmas dinner.
It's not a trend.
This is serious.
Right.
This is serious. Every day I speak as a man. I constantly pray to the Lord not to cast me away, because the deal's going to go down whether, we're here or not. It's going to happen. The prophecy's going to come. It's going to happen. So that's why it behooves you is very, important to you in your individual walk and where you stand in your prayer and your spirit on your everyday basis.
Right.
Because great judgment's coming, and you're not always going to have teachers or prophets out here to say, hey, go this way. Hey, do this. So you want to be built up now in the spirit to the best of your ability. So when it happens, you're confident in faith with boldness in the Lord.
Right. That's why you being out here, just like us, that's mercy. Because in 2 Corinthians 9 says liberty was given unto them. And the liberty given unto you, is basically the Yahweh Shema Shai sending his men out here to tell you and warn you about the prophecies that are foretold in scriptures before all hell breaks loose. Because soon it's going to be a famine of hearing the words Lord. It's like the famine of the word.
Right, because your liberty is this. You have the liberty to come to camp or not. Now, we know there's no free will, but in your spirit, you like, man, I want to go do this. You see, so this is your liberty right now. You have, because y'all live in Rochester, right? So, even that, and also too, Lord's will, we're also going to start going live. So you don't always have to come here, sis. Your son could come here. He's able-bodied man, and your grandson, and you could watch from the comfort of your home. Because at the end of the day, this is a battle. Now, we wouldn't shoo you away, but we're also letting you know that you as a woman, you can watch comfortably in your home at the house, or keep her at the house. Because ultimately, it is dangerous out here. That's why the Lord sent the men out, you see? So, I'm just saying that in a future sense, you can also watch from the house. I always got to feel like you got to be out here, yelling Khan with a staff.
Right.
No, I'm just being funny.
It's strong women in the Bible too. Judith, Esther, strong women in the Bible. And I know that a woman is supposed to learn in silence. And the head of the woman is the man, and the head of man is the Most High.
Yep.
I realize that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And that's why the Lord said that my flock are of men.
Right.
Because you may have a strong woman, but behind that in front of that strong woman was a man.
Right.
You see, and ultimately it's the spirit. You see, because a man builds up a woman, and a woman through that is going to build up the household. But see, in this society, they teach you different. Because the women that you speak about strong in the Bible, they were in order. And they would even say, no, it's my husband, and through him it's the Lord. So even the strong women that you speak about, they were completely in order, though.
Yeah, Judah,
Even though them themselves did great things, Esther saved the whole all the Jews.
Well, the Lord used Esther.
Esther saved all the Jews.
The Lord used her as a byword, because he was doing that to show us, like, since you ain't gonna get right, then I'll have a woman do it.
Right.
So that wasn't, Esther would tell you, hey, that wasn't me. The Lord used that as an example. Like the Lord made Hosea get with a harlot to show our whorism. Right. So you got to understand that, sis, this isn't a woman empowering thing, because that spirit could be contagious and it could overtake you.
That's the Queen of Heaven.
Hold on, sis. Hold on, sis.
That's that Queen of Heaven spirit.
Yeah.
Because even Mordecai was over Esther.
Yep.
And even Judith, she didn't remarry.
Yep. You see? Yep. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and 5, and I'm just going to read down. It says,